Okay, so we've peeled the tape off, exposing the holes, and the fiberglass is hard on the back of it. You can see where my fingers creating a little bit of shade in there. So we've got a good solid back behind both the holes. This way I can put the body filler in there nice and smooth and actually have it not press all the way through. It should back up and fill in the holes pretty well, and we should be able to smooth that across. So let me go ahead and mix up a little bit of filler and hardener, and we can go ahead and lay that on there a little bit. And all we really want to do is just lay enough in there to fill the holes and kind of give us a little smooth spot. Obviously we're going to sand in here, but most of this is already broken down pretty smooth, so I shouldn't have to worry too much about trying to leave way too much in there or too much to fill. This is all pretty well flat. So really these are all I want to do. Now I may mix up quite a bit in there because I do have some spots on the back from some of the reflectors I pulled off where two of them actually have a couple of dents where the holes, who knows what the hell happened, but they have a little bit of dents where the holes are, so I've got a little bit more to fill. So I'm going to mix in a little bit, and we'll get to filling on these, and I'll keep you posted. Okay, so GoPro stopper. Just in case you guys want to know what I use. So that's just lightweight body filler. It's really what I'm after. Nothing dramatic. I don't have to do anything significantly structural, so this should fill in nicely and come out with a real nice smooth finish pretty easily without monstrous amounts of sanding. If there was more structure to it, or I needed to do any kind of substantial building up of anything, I might use more of a fiberglass filler rather than just the cream body filler. But for what I'm doing here, this should be sufficient. So anyway, let me get this stuff poured out here and get situated. Main thing I'm after here is filling that hole, so just keep dabbing quite a bit over the hole itself until I know we got it good and pushed in, and then I'll smooth it across. Alright, so it looks like we might have a little bit more to fill in there, but let me sand a little bit. But anyway, that's pretty dry. Let me sand this smooth a little bit and see if we need to fill a little more. All right, so we got it sanded down a little bit. Still have a little bit of a low spot really on the top one, not much on the bottom, but I'm gonna go ahead and dab just a little bit on the top one. And while I'm at it, I might as well go ahead and fill a couple of little dings that we have right in here while I'm at it. No big deal. I'm there, right? A little more sanding, and I think we're in good shape. That's a little bit of a high spot there, but not much. So when I'm hand sanding, I don't know if you guys notice this, I tend to kind of cross hatch. And the main reason I'm doing that is I try to keep everything even. I don't want anything one direction or the other. The other good part to it is when you do it, you can almost see crisscross where your high spots are in the soft filler. So, but I try to, when I'm hand sanding, try to kind of cross hatch as much as I possibly can. Obviously this is only 120 grit. Once I get done actually stripping the rest of the body for paint and get everything down the way I want, I'll take this down from 120. I'll probably take it down to 220. You know, then we'll probably go ahead and go down 400, maybe down to 600 before I go all the way down. But I'm going to probably do that the whole way through. So there's no real reason to focus on this part anymore. We'll just do that with the rest of the body and treat it side front. Same idea. Holes have been filled in. Everything's crosshatched smooth. Obviously, you can see where I took it down to aluminum on this just to get through some of the nasty paint. We do have some, not really body damage, but a lot of paint peeling off here. I guess there's a little bit of body damage there. But anyway, same idea. Holes filled in, sanded down. So So driver's side rear. Obviously there's a lot I need to fill in over here for some other things. Look like there's some pretty nasty paint, a little bit of dent in there, some scuffs and whatnot. I do need to take the antenna brackets off so we can get underneath there. There is quite a bit of scratching underneath that, but the holes are filled and smooth. So same thing, you can see the scuff marks and such. I do need to go in and I'll be filling some of that in as we do a little bit more disassembly, getting closer to paint. There's a little bit more paint garbage needs to be fixed, but same thing. Holes are filled in, smoothed. Antenna bracket needs to come off so I can get underneath all this. But here's where I had some body damage, so you can kind of see it. It is smooth. Well, I mean, it is straight at least, but it took quite a bit of filling out. I don't know exactly what happened. I'm assuming maybe somebody tried to wrench the reflector off or something, and it actually did some pretty nasty little body damage. So I had to ding some of that in and then fill it in with a lot more filler. But it is nice and straight. I didn't do this one as much with the orbital. Did this one with a little bit more of a block, just to keep it coming straight. Again, cross hatching up and down, side to side, trying to avoid hitting the rivets as much as possible, but trying to keep this as flat and flush with the rest of the panel as I could. And it's okay, but these panels aren't exactly straight to begin with. But it is relatively smooth. So I think that's probably going to be it for today. Reflectors are gone. We've done some filling, sanded down to 120. And I've started some much needed body work before we start heading towards paint. So more coming. Stick with me. Thanks.